Point 1. Revelation 2 verses 8-9. And to the angel of the church in Smyrna write, these are the words of the first and the last, who was dead and came to life. I know your affliction and your poverty, even though you are rich. I know the slander on the part of those who say that they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. Revelation 3 verses 7-9. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, I know your works. Look, I have set before you an open door, which no one is able to shut. I know that you have but little power, and yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. I will make those of the synagogue of Satan who say that they are Jews and are not, but are lying. I will make them come and bow down before your feet, and they will learn that I have loved you. Point 2. Notice he says synagogue, he didn't use another term, he called it a synagogue. Please think of all the things a synagogue would need to operate. If Jesus is our rabbi, then he's saying some folks belong to one where Satan is effectively the rabbi. But let's talk about Remphan. Star of David. Remphan, note 1, is a rendering of the ancient Greek rho epsilon mu phi alpha nu. Various manuscripts offer other transliterations of this pronunciation, including omicron mu phi, epsilon mu phi nu, epsilon mu phi mu, and epsilon phi nu. Citation needed. It is likely in reference to Kiyun mentioned in Amos 5-26, note 2, which the Septuagint renders as Rifon, alpha iota phi nu, or Rephon. Citation needed. Kiyun is generally assumed to be the god Saturn, the Assyrian name of which was Kaven, Kuin. So glad to get that out the way. There are plenty of videos about Saturn worship. I couldn't do it justice. The Star of David is not unique to a certain group. Quote, unlike the menorah, the Lion of Judah, the shofar, and the lulav, the hexagram was not originally a uniquely Jewish symbol. The hexagram, being an inherently simple geometric construction, has been used in various motifs throughout human history, which were not exclusively religious. It appeared as a decorative motif in both 4th century synagogues and Christian churches in the Galilee region. Point 3. Gershom Scholem writes that the term Seal of Solomon was adopted by Jews from Islamic magic literature, while he could not assert with certainty whether the term Shield of David originated in Islamic or Jewish mysticism. Leonora Leet argues though that not just the terminology, but the esoteric philosophy behind it had pre-Islamic Jewish roots, and provides among other arguments the Talmud's mention of the hexagram as being engraved on Solomon's seal ring. She also shows that Jewish alchemists were the teachers of their Muslim and Christian counterparts, and that a way opener such as Maria Hebrea of Alexandria, 2nd or 3rd century CE, others date her earlier, already used concepts which were later adopted by Muslim and Christian alchemists and could be graphically associated with the symbolism of the upper and lower triangles constituting the hexagram, which came into explicit use after her time. The hexagram, however, only becomes widespread in Jewish magical texts and amulets, segulit, in the early Middle Ages, which is why most modern authors have seen Islamic mysticism as the source of the medieval Spanish Kabbalists' use of the hexagram. Another quote, it was often depicted in the shape of either a pentagram or a hexagram. In religious lore, the ring is variously described as having given Solomon the power to command the supernatural, including Shiddim and Jinn, and also the ability to speak with animals. Due to the proverbial wisdom of Solomon, it came to be seen as an amulet or talisman, or a symbol or character in medieval magic and Renaissance magic, occultism, and alchemy. Point 4. Jewish mysticism. You hear that magic and myth nothing biblical or in the Old Testament. So, whose star again for the folks in the back row? Remphans. Acts 7 verse 43. Yeah, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch, and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon. Let's make it clear, if the church adopted pentagrams as a main symbol, folks would have something to say, wouldn't they? So to wrap this up, the Star of David is a symbol of possible Islamic or magic origin, and the Bible is clear on this. Revelation 21 verse 8. But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters and all liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death. Great talk, bye-bye.